Let us pray. Almighty God, the creator and ruler of heaven and earth, we beseech thee to inspire and guide all our actions so that we may always walk in the path of justice, love, and charity to one another. Help us by grace to do only those things that promote the unity, peace, happiness, and prosperity of Nigeria in general and Lagos State in particular. Amen. Good afternoon, distinguished colleagues. You are all welcome back after a long and busy recess. Let us go through the votes and proceedings of Thursday, 2nd February 2023. Ojú ìwé kẹtàdínláàádọ́rùn lé lẹ́ẹ̀ẹ́dẹ́gbẹ̀ta. Ojú ìwé kejìléláàádọ́rùn lé lẹ́ẹ̀ẹ́dẹ́gbẹ̀ta. Ojú ìwé kọkàndínláàádọ́rùn lé lẹ́ẹ̀ẹ́dẹ́gbẹ̀ta. Aṣòfin Áfíríkà Akande.
Ẹ ṣé olùdarí. Mo wá ní ọjọ́ tí mo wà ní gbàgede ṣùgbọ́n mo rúkọ mi ní ara wọn tí ò wá
ó wà ní gbàgede òjòkó ní ibùjókòó.
mo wà ní sà. mo jókòó.
àbí kí ni gbàgede.
mo wà ní inú ilé. ẹ wá bí olùdarí.
akọ̀wé àgbẹ̀ bá a ṣàtúnṣe. a ti ṣe àgbéyẹ̀wò àkọsílẹ̀ ìjíròrò yìí tí ó kọjá ní ọjọ́ kejì oṣù kejì ọdún kẹtàlélókòólélẹ́gbàá a sì fi òǹtẹ̀lú. Any message from the governor?
Right Honorable Speaker, sir, distinguished honorable members, good afternoon, sirs, good afternoon, ma'ams. There is no message from the governor.
Any other announcements?
None, sir.
Petitions?
There is none, sir.
Matter of other public importance? Sorry, Honorable Noim.
Thank you very much, sir. Right Honorable Speaker, distinguished colleagues, I rise this afternoon, 27th of March 2023, to raise a matter of urgent public importance on the need to develop primary health care system in the rural areas in the state in order to bridge the gap between primary health care system and the general hospital. However, Mr. Speaker, sir, before I proceed, permit me, sir, to use this singular opportunity to congratulate you. You have been re-elected as for your 6th time to represent Agege constituency 01. Sir, congratulations to you, sir. And I may go to say today, sir, that you are one of the longest serving legislator, whether in Lagos State, in Nigeria, in Africa, and in the whole world. And that's why anytime someone like us call you the most experienced lawmaker in Africa.
It's not here.
Yes, I'm still going back to that, sir. Yes, sir. If we call you the most experienced lawmaker in Africa, I think we are still in order, sir. So once again, sir, because of time, sir, let me congratulate you, and also congratulate my colleagues. That congratulations to all of us, and also I also want to use the opportunity to congratulate our senator-elect, Senator Wasiu Sonny Eshiloku, and also congratulate
Honorable Noim, don't worry,
yes,
we'll come to congratulations later and later. So
okay, thank you very much, sir. So I rise this afternoon to raise a matter of urgent public importance on the need to develop primary health care system in rural areas across the state in order to bridge the gap between the primary health care system and the general hospital. According to World Health Organization, primary health care system is to support a person's health needs from health promotions to disease prevention, rehabilitation, palliative care, and more. It is a way to lessen the burden of disease among the underprivileged in the society. The primary health care system is the closest health system to the people and to the people in the grassroots. However, Mr. Speaker, sir, this primary health care system is being managed by the local government. Presently in Lagos State today, we have 327 functional health care system in the state. But that 327 functional health care system is not enough for over 22 million people of Lagos State. And if we are to look at the challenges that are being faced by this primary health care system, is shortage of staff. And according to unconfirmed sources, I heard that we have over 10,000 shortages of staff within the healthcare system in the state. And Mr. Speaker, sir, I will use my constituency as a case study. Sustainable Development Growth Department at the federal level, there is a particular one that they built in Okera since 2013. Up till now, that primary health care system is not functional. There is no staff, and it has been completed, but there was nothing like handing over and all that. Another one that they built on Orchard Road by still the same Sustainable Development Road by Orchard Road, they have completed it, no staff, no equipment, and they've not done proper handing over. I think if all these ones too are added to all these primary health care system, it will aid our health system within the state. However, Mr. Speaker, sir, because of time, I would like to go through my prayers. So my prayer, sir, Mr. Speaker, sir. 1, government should employ more medical doctors, registered nurses, pharmacists, and lab scientists at the primary healthcare facilities. 2, to call on Mr. Governor to direct Ministry of Local Government and Chieftaincy to call the attention of the 57 local government and LCD chairmen to pay more attention to the funding of primary healthcare system in the center and to do proper monitoring within the 57 local government. 3, need to encourage the local government to build more healthcare centers in all the rural areas in the state. 4, to call on the governor to direct the Commissioner for Health to liaise with Sustainable Development Goal Department at the federal level to hand over the completed primary healthcare system building and fill skilled staff in order to be more functional. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Temitope.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Distinguished colleagues, good afternoon. Mr. Speaker, I equally want to congratulate you and every other APC members that contested in the most rigorous elections that we've had in the history of Nigeria. Mr. Speaker, I want to commend the prime mover of this motion, because I think over time we have spoken one too many times about the primary healthcare system in Lagos. Precisely, we have spoken too many times on the need for us to either upgrade or to revisit or to rehab the entire system. Mr. Speaker, I think the problem is we need to know the difference. We want to know who is in charge of the primary healthcare system. If it's the local government, let them take full responsibility for it. If it's the state government, let them take full responsibility for it. We have other sister agencies, both in the federal and the states, the SDG, like he has mentioned, that also produce or they give such facilities to local government, different local governments at different times and different places. Mr. Speaker, all these facilities are existing. And we understand that local government also has problems in terms of re-equipping or restocking the medical needs in the primary healthcare system. The idea of the primary healthcare system is to be the first point of call for any medical needs in the local government. So therefore it was decentralized to each of the wards in the local government. And each ward is meant to have at least one primary healthcare center. Mr. Speaker, I speak for Ifakojai today. We have 7 wards and we have only 5. Out of the 5 primary healthcare centers, only 2 is functional. And that's why you have the heavy surge in the general hospital. Mr. Speaker, I think there's something must be done, either in terms of policy, to ensure that we know who is in charge of the primary healthcare system. If we have to go PPP, let's go PPP, so that they can have functional primary healthcare systems that would solve the needs, the immediate needs of the medical needs of the people in the community. Mr. Speaker, I think we should set up a committee to find out where exactly the primary healthcare is seated, if it is under the federal government, state government, or the local government. Thank you very much, sir.
Honorable Lumosar.
Good afternoon, Mr. Speaker. There will be time for congratulations, but let me congratulate you once more for coming at this time, praying and hoping fully well that the 10th Assembly is here and you speak for us once again. Well, the prime mover of this motion, I thank you. Well, the standard is there. World Health Organization prescribed that every ward with population of 10,000 is entitled to 1 PHC. How far have we gone about this? There are a lot of questions left to be desired. The functions and the benefits associated to these very primary health centers are numerous, and we know the advantages. How far have we done, especially our local government, where the primary health center in terms of their care and needs are situated? What are the local governments doing about them? I think we need to ask a lot of questions about that. I have 11 wards in Nigeria, local government, out of which we have 7 primary health centers. Even those 7, it is only 2 or 3 that are functioning very well. In some of them, we don't even have water. There are no electricity. So how would they be able to provide the adequate services in terms of health to our people? Like Honorable Temitope Adewale said, the House need to oversight the local government and these primary health centers. Let us know the questions that are bedeviling their ability to perform very well. The Committee on Health have done some work on the primary health care in Lagos State. We need to holistically look at this and provide solutions in terms of implementation, because we cannot go round and round the corner and think we'll get the best of results. These primary health centers need to work, and they need to work effectively and efficiently. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. God bless you, sir.
Honorable Akande.
Good afternoon, Your Honorable Speaker and my colleagues. I think the issue raised today by our Deputy Majority Leader is very germane, and I can say maybe 30 years ago, where everybody knows at the primary health center, and until when you have a very critical issue, that is when you see they now refer you to the general hospital. In those days, the primary health care centers, they are functioning well, and we have committed staffing. But today, despite a slight increase in the number, you discover that in most of these primary health care centers, we have lack of staffing. The personnel there are not adequate, both the doctors, the nurse, and other ancillary staffs. At times when you get there, you're only sitting down there without anybody to even attend to you. At times you live there with annoyance. So all those ones is really affecting the PSC that we have across the state. Also the drug, you go there, no drugs, they ask you to go and even buy the drugs outside, and then you cannot even guarantee those drugs that are recommended to go and buy outside, the efficacy of those drugs. Also, you now find that in the rural area that the Prime Mover mentioned, the distance apart to even access this primary health center at time when you have a critical issues, maybe like injury or whatever, by the time you get there, you discover that due to the bad roads and the transportation network that is not okay, it's really affecting. In the rural areas, we need more PSC to really serve the community, the likes of Ikorodu, Beju, Badagry, and so on. So you will still discover that around this rural area, the diseases that you hardly hear in the city, like measles, like cholera, is still prevalent in all these rural areas. And in this case, I want to implore the House that the committee in charge should really go out and really find out what is really happening at our rural areas in terms of the distribution of the PSC and their functionality, so that at the end of the day, the House can really help the local government and this in conjunction with the state, so that we can have a functional primary center to serve the populace. Thank you very much.
Honorable Suraj Zejadu.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Furthermore, let me congratulate you for our victory towards the last election, and also, of course, I want to also thank the Prime Minister of today's motion. The issue of primary health centers has become another challenges within the state, and during the campaign, this is part of the request of the electorate and the society. And the truth is, going around the state today, you will see a lot of health center that's been constructed, and at the end of the day, there is no staff, there's no function. We need to look into this, and I want to support Honorable Adewale Temitope by setting up a committee that will look into this, sir. Thank you very much.
Honorable Agunyade.
Mr. Speaker, I wish to commend Honorable Adams for bringing this up for discussion. The issues involved are very simple, except if the goalpost is changed tomorrow. What I think we know is that presently the PSC is under the control of our local governments. Elections are over now. For the remaining days of this tenure, we should dedicate time for oversighting the public health in the various local governments. 2-3 honorable members have stood to say they have X number of primary health centers in their constituency. Only few are working, some are not working. Why are some working and others are not working? that is part of our oversight. When we know we deal with it, we should help the state overhaul primary health care and make as appropriate recommendation. My suggestion will be that the ministry, the Committee on Health Services should be enhanced and strengthened with incorporation of some other members to go after this, look at available records. We have talked about this sometime. Let's look at what is on ground now, look at available records and go on to see if it is the local government chairman that had to be made responsible to do more, if it is the state government that we need to do more. Presumably we should be talking about 57 health centers in the whole of the states today if we have 57 local government. How many of them are working? What are the major peculiar problems in each of these? And I'm sure if we do that, we are more than halfway in solving the problem that Honorable Adam raised in his matter of urgent public importance. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Desmond.
Thank you, my right honorable speaker. Once again, just like my other colleagues, I'd like to congratulate you and other members over the just concluded elections.
I think we should be doing that to you.
To me, Mr. Speaker.
Yeah.
Mr. Speaker, this is what they call election.
Never mind, just go.
Thank you, my right honorable speaker. I congratulate myself as well. Also to say a big thank you to Honorable Naim for this, bringing up this issue up. We must understand, Mr. Speaker, that of the 327 primary healthcare centers, 60% of that number is in total abysmal shape. And it means that we must have an understanding of what the primary healthcare centers are for. Basically, it's meant to be accessible, easily, very cheap, or next to nothing. In other words, Mr. Speaker, almost every community should have a primary healthcare center to deal with issues of malaria, urgent issues and situations which we do not have today. It is very imperative, sir, that we not only look at what the strength of the local government is. Local governments already are overburdened. If we throw it alone to the local government, then we've not even started in dealing with the situation. It must be a collaboration between local government in terms of dedicating certain amounts of their IGR in terms of their revenue into, and it must be a situation whereby they can't even touch such funds into the primary healthcare centers, and the state must also support in terms of personnel, doctors and all that. So I see a collaborative effort into making sure that the primary healthcare centers are very rich. A lot of people have died because they've waited in general hospitals when they could have just been saved by being in the primary healthcare centers. Thank you very much, sir.
Honorable Kennedy Joseph.
Thank you, the right honorable speaker. Like others colleagues, I want to say a very big congratulations to you and to other colleagues for the victory recorded at the last election. The issue of primary health centers is, like being said by every other honorable members. We also face the same thing, most especially during these electioneering campaigns. Most of the places that we went to campaign, we have some issues. I just want to, I don't want to repeat what others have said. I just want to use some amendments on the motions, some of the things that the Deputy Majority Leader said on the number 3, that we should encourage the state to build more PAC. So the best thing for us is that the one that they have built, what have we done about it? Majorly, the issues we are having is those things are not functioning very well. So we must be able to equip them, most especially that has to do with the staffs. So majority of all those places, they don't have medical doctors, pharmacists and all others. So I want us to just amend the number 3 one, that the one we already have, they should please equip it and make sure they are functioning very well for our people. Thanks, sir.
Honorable, I got Honorable Victor. Okay, Honorable Victor on this. So.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Congratulations is not enough to say to you, sir, because you are the master of the game. People should know by now why during the presidential election, why a lot of people failed, you excel. So I dove my heart for you, sir. Contributing into the topical issue, I want to say thank you for bringing this topical issue. And first of all, what are the benefits of primary health care? If we say that politics is local, then the dividends of democracy should also be local. Suffice to say that the primary health center is very, very germane, and it goes a long way. In Yoruba, they said, Imototo Bore Arugbogbo. The Imototo starts from the primary health center. In those days, where we were taught how to keep ourselves clean, how to take care of so many things so that most of the diseases will not affect us. The same goes to this, because the primary health care sector is also local. That is the only dividend of democracy that the people in rural area can easily access to. And it is local because it is also put in the purview of the local government. Some of the benefits, the disease prevention, because they will have taught them how to prevent how to cater for so many diseases, and in that wise we will not be able to have so many specialists spending so much money and trying to cure those diseases. Again, it improves the quality of care. If we make it more local than it is now, definitely there will be more care for our people and they will feel the impact of the government. As we go around selling ourselves to our people, the local people, the people in the rural area, these are one of those things they really want us to do for them. And I know that if this see the light of the day, it will touch so many lives, and at the end it will be better for us. So I am actually supporting this particular germane issue, and I hope that we'll give it a very speedy thought. Thank you. But finally, sir, before I sit, I want to say that we can equally, as the honorable members, try as much as possible to go around, because there is not enough time to go around our constituency to check those primary health centers and come back with a report. Thank you, sir.
Honorable Council.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. While also congratulating you on your re-election and the rest of our colleagues, I would like to adopt most of what my other colleagues have also said based on this discussion, this matter that was brought to fore as a matter of urgent public importance by the Deputy Majority Leader. Particularly the last person who spoke, Honorable Akande, his submission. But I would also add, however, sir, that in Lagos State, sir, Lagos State has a primary healthcare board established by the Lagos State Health Reform since 2006. Now, this board is saddled with the responsibility of primary healthcare management. How many of this board is supposed to act as a median between the local government and the state government, as long as primary healthcare issues is concerned. The law that established that the core functions of this particular board
includes the coordination and the monitoring, the evaluation of healthcare services across the state, as long as it affects every resident of the state, including rural. So how many of these core functions have actually been followed through? Sir, the question, however, is this board currently functional? How long has that sitting been in existence on the board? Have they exceeded their tenure? Have they been sitting? Have they become redundant? Are they doing what they're supposed to do? Away from all the issues that have been raised. So, in a nutshell, I think that at the end of the day, they have to wake up from that slumber, because it is their job to monitor and evaluate all these primary healthcare centers to determine the lesser issues that we will have, while adding up every other contribution that honorable members have put forward. It is imperative to say that I would suggest that the prime mover of this matter of urgent public importance should include some of these things, because then we'll be able to get to the nitty-gritty of the issues. The board members should also be called to the House of Assembly to give a detailed report of what they have been doing concerning primary healthcare issues over the years, at least in the last 4 or 5 years. Thank you.
Honorable Setoji. Are you off your line?
Direct Honorable Speaker, I just want to thank you and to congratulate you too, for just like my colleagues, and also our party for the victory we got during that legislature. This matter is very crucial, very, very important, and very apt, in the sense that most times we mistake, the issue of healthcare and mix them up. The most critical aspect of healthcare is the primary health care, and this was emphasized in the 80s by Professor Kuti when he was in the Lagos University Hospital. It's the most important, but most times we want to, build the major hospitals, the teaching hospitals. Why they emphasizing those areas? Because that is where the population lies. And the number we have in Lagos is very low. So I really support this motion to emphasize it, because the need, people trying to general hospitals, people trying to teach hospitals. There's no need for it. Those areas are for special cases. Small cases like malaria, like simple ailments. The healthcare will solve these ones, and they are not. The state government, to a great extent, is not giving it enough attention. For instance, in my own constituency, we have just only 1 or 2 healthcare system. The only one is functioning. So I really support this motion, and I believe we should emphasize that the state government will give priority to health care system. Thank you, sir.
Honorable Akande.
Good afternoon, Right Honorable Speaker, and congratulations to all my colleagues. Congratulations again. So let me just go straight to the point. Let me thank the prime mover of this motion, and I'm in support of the motion. But what the area I can say we can work on, I'm totally disagree that we should give it to a special committee, sir. Maybe we should give it to the committee of the House, headed by Honorable Shokunle. And there is a committee that was set up. We need to see the outcome of the committee on this same issue, Mr. Speaker. But what I think is most important, sir, is unemployment. I believe the local government and the state, maybe, I don't know what really happened, who employ, we should know. The employment is very, very important, because they will not like to add to their wages, the local government, as I've already said by one of our colleagues. And another thing, the medication, drugs, in the health center, if you go there, like in my own constituency now, we just have we have 3, Onyeukwu, Anikulakpo, and Ononuga, and we have 9 wards in my constituency, and it's far to each other. I believe they can still bring, and the committee can compare, at least they're under our watch. You can tell them maybe they should make sure at least 2 or 3 are function So that is my own submission, Mr. Speaker. Thank you for giving me the honor.
Honorable Isha. Good afternoon, Mr. Speaker. Good afternoon, honorable colleagues. Mr. Speaker, let me also congratulate you on a recent victory. You are going into your 6th term. By God's grace, you are going in as our Speaker, Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly, the House of Assembly of Uncommon Standards. Honorable colleagues, congratulations. To the matter at hand, we've talked about this before. I remember Honorable Shokunle brought a motion to the House whereby we talked about the expansion of the tertiary institutions, and during that conversation we talked about a primary healthcare center, which is the grassroots, if you can put it like that. I'm sure my honorable colleague, the Deputy Majority Leader, is bringing up this issue because during the campaigns, I'm sure each and every one of us saw what is on ground. I would also mention my constituency down up to Takwa Bay. We don't have a primary healthcare center there. We are just working with the Ministry of Health to get a health center into that particular location. The primary healthcare system should run seamlessly right now because we also have what is called the LSHA, which is the insurance arm of Lagos State Health System, which pays money out for every primary healthcare center that registers indigent people within the community. I don't want to repeat what my colleagues have said, so that's why I'm taking it into another angle. So funding of primary healthcare centers shouldn't be a problem, even for the local government and the state government. Also, I agree with Honorable Desmond, there is a shared responsibility. We can't leave it totally to the local government. And that's why in the budget of this year, we have over 10 billion naira for construction. I think it's about 15 billion naira for construction of 10, 12 primary healthcare centers in the state. So to one of my colleagues, I mentioned that the third item in the prayer of...
Sorry, for the structure of including the facilities.
Completely. You know,
just building.
No, complete the entire thing.
Okay.
There's some primary healthcare center called flagship. Those are handled by the state. They are almost like teaching hospitals. So they are available to support. So that is in the budget. So it's done pari passu. The state builds, the local government also manages them. On the issue of whether they should continue building more or not, I think we have to continue building more. There is not enough primary healthcare system, centers within the state. So I think the third item of the prayer of the prime mover on this matter of public importance should stay. I think it's the right thing. The other issue we'll probably have, which we need to be dealing with now, is personnel. We're talking about brain drain, we're talking about doctors leaving, nurses leaving. The state is having a challenge so we also need to look at that as well. The system has to be there to ensure that personnel are available to be employed in the first place. I support the motion. I think it's a great motion and it's something that will be of benefit to the entire state. Thank you very much.
Honorable Togo. Thank you very much. Our Speaker, the speaking Speaker, I congratulate you, through you to all the other progressive parliamentarians. And I congratulate our leader, the father too. So through him to all the executives, progressive. Sir, my concern is that our people have talked extensively on the primary health care, but what is important to me is the personnel. Majorly, the problem we're having is the personnel. Most of the people posted to primary health care center, because primary health care center are majorly for rural areas. So most of the personnel are not ready to stay. So when they post them, they leave. So when there are no personnel to work in the primary health care center, that means the place will look desolate and will be abandoned. So I feel that the second leg of the resolution should include that the executive should employ personnel given catchment area, because most of the rural area where we have a healthcare center were rural areas, and the doctors and nurses are not ready to go there. But then those rural area have their wives, their children, who are medical doctors, who are nurses, who are ready to work in their rural area, but they did not have opportunity to be employed by the Lagos State or by government and post them to that area. So the people, the government should give the catchment area the opportunity to nominate, if they have, the doctors and nurses who are indigents of that area, who are ready to work in the place, rather than posting people to that area and people living, and that is what is applicable to in the education sector, where people will be posted to the rural area and within 3 weeks or within 3 months, they want to come back to the center of attraction. So I want us to include that they should consider the catchment area where those primary health care centers are located, if they have qualified medical staff who are ready to work there. Then secondly, the building, they should continue to build, because we have so many areas that have not been touched and they are clamoring for PHC. So thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving us the opportunity.
Good afternoon, Mr. Speaker, my colleagues. I also congratulate you on your election, re-election. As Kim Dogo have said it, the most experienced legislator in Nigeria. On that note, I also congratulate the Ashwagi of Univa for being elected as President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the Deputy, Vice President Shetima and others from the Senate to the Reps and others members, particularly the members that return to the House of Assembly. Congratulations. Well, Mr. Speaker, the motion on ground is a primary health care. And I think if you look at it over 20 years ago, is the schedule of the local governments precisely. But about 4 or 10 years ago, it has been taken over by the state, and there is no serious synergy between the state and the local government. And that is why the lacuna is there. If you see, as of today, we still have the supervisor for health at the local government level. What are they doing? And consider the charges that the private sectors, particularly clinics, are charged the people in the rural areas. And don't forget, Mr. Speaker, the most important is that particularly the area my brothers have mentioned, they came from Ogombo. We came from Ikorodu, a typical rural area, and by that bit also, the area that are expanded on a daily basis. The primary health care is not function. There's no equipment, there's nothing there. So the state government need to do a lot of things. If they still want to continue, there should be a very serious synergy between the state and the local government. Particularly the chairman of the local government, they did nothing. Believe me honestly, go there, you see that even maybe they don't know their primary schedule. So they need to look into it. And one of our colleagues said that they should establish a committee. We have a standing committee from the House. They should look into it. Honorable Victor also mentioned that each member can also help to accelerate this committee, the feedback to the House of Assembly, by going to the respective local government, give us the one that is functional and the one that is not functional, so that they can accelerate action on it. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
And lastly,
thank you, Mr. Speaker. Let me also take this opportunity to congratulate you on the just concluded election, and to also extend congratulations to the Deputy Speaker, that is now Senator-elect, and to wish him an happy belated birthday. To the matter at hand, I don't want to repeat what my colleagues have said. We just have 2 issues I've risen repeatedly, which is the issue of staffing, and Honorable Kassim has mentioned the Primary Healthcare Board. So I feel that needs to be looked into properly, because they are saddled with the responsibility of staffing in all primary healthcare centers. And one of my colleagues also mentioned about people not wanting to stay, and the staff not wanting to stay in rural areas. So we have to look into incentives to make people stay in these rural areas. Then the second one is the issue of doing campaign, and PHCs are needed in rural areas. Doing oversight function, being a member of the Committee on Health, we have done some health facilities, some medical facilities in rural areas, and we noticed that they have low patronage. And what the medical staff are always saying is that the mentality of the people in the area that they believe more in traditional medicine than Western medicine. So what the point mover has said, I think we should look into it, the committee, whatever committee is set up, we should look into it properly. What is do they really need these new primary healthcare centers? The low patronage that we're witnessing there, is it from the people in the area? We should know who is telling the truth. Is it the people that we're going to campaign to that they just want this, or are they really going to make use of these facilities when they come up? So I'm in support of the motion, and we need to look into this properly. Thank you.
I want to thank you, distinguished colleagues, for your submissions, and going by the passion in which you have all contributed. It shows that this is a very important issue that we need to actually pay serious attention to. And well, in my own mind, in the beginning, I was thinking that we just request for those things that will improve the service at the PHC in all our local government. For me, I don't want us to base this on rural area or non-rural area. Every area or community deserves medical attention. And by so doing, I think I'll go with those who suggested that, going by our political demarcation from local government to the ward, that each ward should be, or rather have a PHC, primary health center, each ward in all the local government. Because health facilities should be very close to the people, and that is the only way we can put it at their doorstep. In fact, even when we talk about ward, we have some wards in Lagos State that are bigger than some local governments in terms of size. So I think we should consider that. What I was thinking was, we are talking about accessibility to medical service, provision of medical equipment, boosting the confidence of the people in provision of medical service in niche in all Lagos states, but the whole of Lagos State rather, and provision of personnel. But with what we have at time now, to get everything, in order, and to make sure we do justice to this motion, I think it is proper to have a committee in place so that they can do the needful visitation where necessary, invitation to all agencies that are involved, particularly the local government. And adding to this, we must also ensure, or at the local government level, budgetary provision, because where fund has not been provided in the budget, it will be mere or very difficult to provide what we are talking about. So I think on building more, we should call on local government chairmen that they must strive and ensure that they have one in each ward. It is not about the grandeurs of structure. It is not about the size of the structure, but the service, so that they don't have to waste so much money on the structure, and it will be difficult to provide equipment. So we must encourage them. We must make it mandatory. We must make it as part of our resolution that each ward in Lagos State must have a center in all the local government in Nigeria. So I think we will leave the submission of the prime mover so that we can have a very broad and well-articulated resolution at the end of the day, by the time the committees has finished the assignment. Since we have something that borders on health and also local government, so it is proper to have joint committee so that they can work together and have adequate information. So I'll come back to this after I've listed the names of those who will be members of the committee and who's to share it. So, Honorable Naim, we appreciate your efforts on this, and I commend all of you, my colleagues. But so we will step down the motion. So for adequate and what is it called, proper, so I mean resolute, after the committee will have come up with their own findings. So on this note, the motion is hereby stepped down. Yeah, Majority Leader. Go ahead.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, on matter of urgent public importance, I wish to invite us to recall that on the 25th day of February this year, Nigerians trooped out in their hundreds, thousands, and millions to exercise their civic responsibility, electing who we desire to lead the government of Nigeria in the next political dispensation, as well as electing people into the red and the green chambers of the National Assembly. On the 18th of March, we repeated the same civic responsibility, electing those we want to govern our states as governors and lawmakers to all the states' houses of assembly. The exercise, though with skirmishes of complaints here and there, has been adjudged to be very peaceful. At least we can attest to that in Lagos State. As human beings that we are mortals. And as a result, we are infallible. The infallibility denies us of perfection. So no man is perfect. But we must commend the officials that superintended the elections and made it as peaceful as it has been. Elections are over. Those who are victorious in the elections are waiting to be sworn in. And we must congratulate them. Starting from the office of the president-elect, the vice president-elect, all senators of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and as it concerns us in this House of Assembly, all members of this House of Assemblies that went for re-election and got re-elected, we congratulate them. In specific terms, we need to congratulate Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Alhaji Shetima for being elected as President and Vice President all the senators, and as it concerns us here, Senator-elect Onyeukwu, who is joining the rank of honorable members from this House of Assembly who have a leap from the House of Assembly to the Senate. We must also congratulate our own Speaker, who has gotten elected for the 6th term, a rare feat in the Houses of Assembly in the Federation. And to those of us seated here who have it tougher than imagined, yet survived and are re-elected into the House of Assembly. That is democracy. Mr. Speaker, the question is, what is urgent about all of this? And how is it of public importance? We see and we know that as peaceful as the election is, some are still raising dust. Our social media space is filled with incitement, hate speech, and so on and so forth. We need to conscientize ourselves not to enable or encourage the haters and those who are still peddling rumor, inciting members of the public into making to happen what got prevented from happening during the elections. Campaigns are over, but the national healing at the secretarial level, healing at the constituency level, on the streets are necessary. We have to encourage members of the public not to join in any hot arguments. It is believed that those who are not too friendly with the nation are still looking for a way to cause rifts among the members of the public. We should tolerate different opinions and encourage ourselves to live together as citizens of a nation that should live in unity and in good faith. Mr. Speaker, the opportunity is for us to make sure that Nigeria remains peaceful. It is not over until it is completely over. We should not encourage words of discord amongst us as a citizen. Once again, Mr. Speaker, I commend the organizers of the election. I also want to commend members of the public who displayed maturity, who displayed sincerity of purpose and commitment to national unity. We have to commend ourselves in Lagos State for ensuring that we troop out to preserve a system that works, to preserve the state of excellence. The civil servants, the market men and women, the youth, and all that played prominent role in this last election, that we are here again congratulating ourselves, celebrating ourselves. As a representative of the people, we thank our people for making Lagos very peaceful and for sustaining Lagos. Finally, the captain of the ship, the governor of the state, we congratulating him for surviving the political troubled waters and emerging victorious. Mr. Speaker, these are the points I wish to raise under this matter of urgent public importance. Thank you.
Honorable Council.
Can I use this medium to thank the prime mover of this matter of public urgent importance for bringing this to the fore. Can I, however, be the first person to congratulate from this House of Assembly, this prestigious Lagos State House of Assembly, my own father, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the President-elect of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, who is definitely going to make sure that this nation gets the deserved turnaround for better as from when he's sworn in May 2023. Alongside, I would like to congratulate the Vice President-elect, Kazim Shettima, for being a formidable force to making sure that we get a resounding victory at the polls. Let me also use this opportunity and medium to congratulate also our very own Deputy Speaker, who is now on the way to the Red Chamber as Senator-elect, Tebadebe Magbagoro. Let me also use this medium to congratulate the Senator-elect of Lagos West Senatorial District, our very own Sisi West.
Sorry for us to say, this congratulatory this issue be set aside, please. Okay. We have a lot of lights on. Let us go straight to.
Well, I would therefore, on that note, support every single thing that has been said by the majority leader, because it is the perfect stand to have, because we all worked for this election. We all made sure that we did what was necessary, and the victory was, however, resounding, and we hope and pray that on this new journey that we embark on, that we realize that the crimes are changing, and definitely things are going to be done bigger and better. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Just like you have said, I will not wish to congratulate you, but I want to commend you, sir. Mr. Speaker, you have done it again as a six-timer in the most prestigious House of Assembly in Nigeria. Congratulations, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you.
I also congratulate all APC candidates that took part in the last election. I congratulate them because this is the first of its kind of election that we have ever seen in Nigeria, where the BVAS was introduced, the IREV was introduced, and so many voting patterns were introduced. So I want to commend the INEC for conducting a very wonderful, free and fair elections in Nigeria. I also want to commend the security operatives. As we could see, we had a lot of uniformed officers on the roads, both in Lagos and every other state in Nigeria. Mr. Speaker, but one thing is sure, I want to commend the youths of Nigeria. More than ever, they are aware of their powers. Now they are aware that their votes count. Now they are aware they are the decision makers in the country. However, Mr. Speaker, if they are not properly taken care of, they will be veered off the true stance of democracy. Mr. Speaker, I think a lot needs to be done. A lot has to be done in terms of reforms, in terms of having this youth engaged. Mr. Speaker, the elections we saw is one of a kind. And for many of us that contested and was lucky to return to office, Mr. Speaker, we say thank God. It wasn't a normal election. The wave at which they were trending was catastrophic and it was scary. Mr. Speaker, I spoke to you after the election and I said there's the need for us to enlighten the youth on the responsibilities of the three arms of the government, where most people during the campaign process did not even know the responsibilities of a legislator. And they are saying you are getting money from the council, you are doing this, you are doing that, you should be doing boreholes, you should be doing roads, you should be doing schools, you should be building primary health care centers, which is not the primary responsibility. So these youths also need to be tutored and to be enlightened on the functions of legislators. Mr. Speaker, I want to congratulate Ashwaju especially, and at this point in time, I want to advise him that his cabinet should reflect more of the youth in our country. We have sound youth, we have brilliant-minded youth, we have youths that have crossed over to overseas and they've done very well in different aspects and spheres of life. So we are using this opportunity to call on Ashwaju Ahmed Tinubu, our president-elect, to have inclusion of youth. A greater part of his cabinet should include the youth. Mr. Speaker, I congratulate all my colleagues that have come back to the House and I wish you a 10th Assembly success. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This is a clarion call and a wake-up call. Many things happen, but they are for good. It is not easy to preserve the rights. Neither is it easy to preserve the sanctity of Lagos State. But I want to thank Ashwaju for one thing. Upon all the tantrums that was thrown to him, upon all what they did, he never made one singular statement. That is a leader. Is somebody that God has ordained to lead. Up till now, he has never made any statement. And that was why he will remain Ashwaju of Africa. If by extension, Ashwaju of the universe. Mr. Speaker, we can't do but congratulate you. In my former speech, I said, I dove my heart. You are a game changer and you are a gamer. You are the master of the game. And everybody should know that. They won't take it away from you. I want to thank the INEC for a human job. They really tried. And for the first time, we can now repose our confidence in them. I say thank you to them, to Nigerian police and all the forces. I say thank you. I want to also extend my appreciation to the working governor, Mr. Selimu. He has done so marvelously well. In fact, in 2 weeks to the election, he has to wake up. Thank you for taking care of Lagos and for allowing Lagos to be. Mr. Speaker, there is a caveat I posed some times ago on this floor of the House. And that caveat, I think it should remain because it's also in public domain. The caveat where one of the leaders said if Ashwaju wins, he's going to leave Lagos. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I want to use this to remind him to start packing his bag to leave Lagos because Ashwaju has won. Thank you. God bless you.
Honorable Gundi.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Well, we want to start from the adage that says that charity begins at home. Yes, we have to really thank God for your life and for God to have really use you as a good reference to return on your sixth time for the same position in Lagos State House of Assembly, and from you to our same Deputy Speaker, that is now Senator-elect. Additional adage in Yoruba said that Tori Koba Suwon Arongba. So, and from there to all our colleagues that has returned from the house, to the house. This is a very peculiar election, and like Honorable Temitope Adewale said, I think there is a very vital role being played by the Parliament, Lagos State House of Assembly, which has really helped this election this far, because we don't need to rest on our oars. Need for the what we term constituency briefing to be more details and spread in the 10th Assembly, because this will really bring about enlightenment that we're talking about. There is no way our voice can be heard like executive. So, but we can do it in a way that we could be having a sort of breathing from one word to another over a period of time. So they can be able to know that it is not the lawmaker that will do this, that will do that, that will do this, but we can only serve as an intermediary to hear their voice to the executive. Having said that, we still need to congratulate our national leader, the President-elect, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. This is a very rare feat that he has attained. Honestly speaking, if God has not built the house, the laborer will just be laboring in vain. If God has not really given him everything that it needs, well, we can really attribute it to everybody's success, input, but I give it to God and I give it to him that has really made it possible. And to him, to all other APC members that have won at one stage or the other, we thank God for all this. But taking home from this, like the majority leader said, how do we harmonize? How do we build a nation that is one? How do we now try to take it away from where we can develop our electoral process that will be free of every sort of errors? And this has started by our party, and we have a reliable leader that can take it up from here. So once again, I say congratulations to every one of us. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Susu.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members of this great house, I will start the way Honorable Ogundimu started, that charity begin at home. Start from the honorable members who are returning. Congratulations to you all. God will make it a very huge success for the 10th Assembly for you. For Mr. Speaker, people say it's 6th time. Me, I have a different opinion. It's not 6, it's miscalculation. But when you talk about 6 in the House of Assembly, here in the chamber, yes. But Mr. Speaker has been in the corridor of legislative tendencies for 7 times. He started as a councillor. He was so proactive when he was there, and he carried that mantle to the House of Assembly, and is now a bookmaker. Congratulations, Mr. Speaker, the speaking speaker. God will continue to enrich you in wisdom and action. To this Senator-elect, congratulations, sir. To our amiable, our leader, our mentor, the richest politicians in terms of wisdom, in terms of energy, in terms of talk and do.
Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, congratulations to you, sir, and his deputy. Then, Mr. Speaker, this past election has completely buried politics of tribalism, has completely buried religious politics. Because before you embark on the policy of tribalism, you think twice, because you may damn the consequence. So also the religion. So definitely we'll be able to feel what I'm talking about. By the special grace of God, that kind of ugly situation will not rear its head again in the history of Nigeria. Congratulations to also the achiever, that's the governor of Lagos State. God will continue to enrich, and I take this opportunity to thank people of Lagos State for know their heritage and for maintaining their heritage. God will bless you all for standing up to defend our heritage. Mr. Speaker, I will also add, Mr. Speaker, that we should visit the president-elect and also the governor-elect, so as also to congratulate them, because this is the real opportunity for us. This is the first time that a truly democratic elected president will come out from Lagos State. We must show our appreciation by visiting him, by congratulating him, by chatting with him, by talking with him. I think it's very, very germane, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Well, before the next speaker, please, to save time, we have a lot of flights. Let's cut the congratulatory. We wait till the inauguration or during valedictory, so we can do that all together. Honorable Lumo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Let me just say one thing, which I think by the grace of God it will come to pass. The 10th Assembly, Right Honorable Mudashira Jayabasa, will speak for us again. Because your speaking for us is producing something. It has produced a senator-elect. It has produced a rep member. So why won't it produce more by the next assembly? So I'm praying seriously that when we resume, you will be the next speaker of this house, so that we can have more senators and rep from this house. Let me also use this opportunity to congratulate Mr. Governor as well for his re-election. My members, my colleagues, I really appreciate and thank God for bringing all us back to the house. But most importantly to me is the election of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the president of this country. We all know who Bola Ahmed Asiwaju is. This is a Democrat par excellence. This is the first time we have a Nigerian, a pan-Nigerian, a pan-Africanist becoming the president of Nigeria. He has been a senator, he has been a governor. Think of whatever it is that one should go through in the struggle of enthroning democracy. Nadeco movement, Asiwaju was in the front. So I don't have any doubt in my mind that the renewed hope agenda of the president-elect will come and will be for the benefit of everybody in Nigeria, most especially our youth, who now knows that this is the wrong and this is the right. And they have that mandate to change whatever is wrong to what is right. I want to believe strongly that the renewed hope agenda of the president-elect Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu will usher in the best for us in this country. The exchange rate that is up will come down. The issue of subsidy in the agricultural sector and our petroleum, both upstream and downstream, will be properly managed. The Naira issue will come to be solved finally, and Nigerians can finally have a smile on their faces by making sure that our students in school, we have loan to pay their school fees. There are so many things embedded in this Renew Hope agenda, which I will suggest we all read. If you read it, your faces will be full of smile. Nigeria is now here. We are now here to take our own stage among the committee of all nations. I believe strongly that Nigeria will be better for us during Asiwaju Bola Ahmed's tenure. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this wonderful opportunity to talk. Thank you. God bless Nigeria.
Once again, Mr. Speaker, congratulations. I will adopt my friend, Honorable Lumo, that we need you more and want you to speak again. By the grace of God, more shall allow the 10th Assembly, June 8 or 9, you will be here again as the Right Honorable Speaker. Away from that, sir, let me congratulate Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu for his election. And I wouldn't like to repeat what Olumo has said, but in his speech, Asiwaju said 4 years is 4 years. And I believe in that. If you are going to school, your student now, they are going to finish. If you are engaging in 4-year course, the 4 years will be 4 years. That's another opportunity for you if you read that, the book of Renewal. The observer, I congratulate them as well, because without them, both foreign and local observer, they really tried. The INEC, and let me congratulate my boss, Ganiu Solomon, the DG to Sanwo-Olu. Is a good man, very lucky man. In his time, we are very lucky to have somebody like that, Distinguished Senator Ganiu Olanrewaju Solomon. And I congratulate the governor of Lagos State, at least for coming back, Sanwo-Olu, and his deputy from our area. And at the same time, let me congratulate my brother, the deputy speaker, now the senator-elect. By the grace of God, Egmont, you will never regret this. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for giving me the opportunity.
Honorable Togo. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. First and foremost, we want to thank God. We thank God most sincerely for giving us this day. We thank the people of Nigeria for voting Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu to lead this country to the promised land. We want to thank the INEC for being courageous enough to do the needful and do it rightly. I congratulate Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his deputy, Shetima. I congratulate them. I congratulate the National Assembly, most especially our own Senator-elect, Eshiloku, and my own Mukahel Habiru Tokumbo. I congratulate you, and I congratulate the governor of the state, Mr. Selebu, and his deputy, Dr. Quadri Obafemi Amsat. And I use the growing opportunity to congratulate our whole speaker, who has broken the record for being the first person to be elected to this chamber for 6th time. I congratulate you, sir. And I congratulate you for moving to speak for the 3rd time. This is a feat that nobody has ever achieved in this chamber. I congratulate you, and I congratulate other members of the parliament. I congratulate all of us. Mr. Speaker, the task of keeping this country together, it must be the duty of every one of us, all the citizens. We must work assiduously to keep this country together, knowing fully that the worst civilian government is better than any military government. We must shun hate speech, especially the leaders, the ethnic leaders, who are sending bad speech to their people, instigating them, trying to cause ethnic disharmony within the country. The leaders must be aware that if there's problem in this country, they will be the first to suffer. So we want to urge ourselves to maintain calmness. Those who could not make it this time will make it next time. Election has come and gone. God has ordained those he promised to ordain. Let all of us collaborate. Let all of us work together and move this country together. Together, Nigeria will get to the promised land. Congratulations to all progressive. God bless. Honorable Sadi Gadi.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, I want to congratulate Nigerians and Lagosians alike
for the success at the poll, which indeed was a credible one and the fairest one ever. I say congratulations to Nigerians. Mr. Speaker, some lessons were learned in this election, and that's what I want to harp on. One, now there will be need for us to interface and engage more and more with our constituents. These are what they sought for, and I think they deserve it. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, the social contract that we signed with our constituents is no other but good governance. But good governance is accomplished only when the dividend of democracy spread all around. Mr. Speaker, our estates seems abandoned, and they cried very loud in this election, and it reflected in their votes. We were told that they've been abandoned and they are doing everything virtually by themselves. So there will be need, while developing the rural areas, there will be also need to do some balancing so that our estates would have their own fair share of dividend of democracy. Mr. Speaker, also, I must not also fail to condemn the politics of ethnicity and religion that we experienced in the last election. Where do we place character? Where do we place experience? Where do we place hard work of many of the parliamentarians? But in most of our constituency, character, competence, experience, energy, drive, hard work was jettisoned for religion and ethnicity. This is condemnable, and I want to believe that election to come will not go in that manner. Mr. Speaker, I also want to congratulate you. You are a pace setter. You have led us well, and I also want to congratulate all other of my colleagues who came out successful at the poll. And also want to assure Nigerians that transformation has come through Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Transformation has come, prosperity has come, renewed hope has come, and by the grace of God, we shall accomplish all of our set goals. Thank you very much, and God bless.
Honorable Desmond.
Thank you, my right honorable speaker. Thank you, my right honorable speaker. Devoid of congratulating Mr. Speaker, I'd like to say a big thank you to you, sir. When the chips were down, you called me not just once, not twice, many times. You showed concern, and it shows that you're not just a speaker, but a father to this, sir, and I know you did that to a lot of our colleagues as well. I want to deeply appreciate you very much, sir. Thank you so much. It meant so much to me that someone could say, keep going, keep pushing, work harder. And you did all that, sir. To that I say thank you. I also want to thank, in absentia, the Right Honorable Speaker, Federal House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, for being a father as well in making sure that democracy held in my life and also in Surulere. Mr. Speaker, a lot have been said, and I want to just bring out the little that I've learned. And I think as a matter of purpose, not just for us going into the 10th Assembly, but also for the future, there is a need for us to not just educate, but also discuss with the general public on our responsibilities as legislators, as state legislators, and what we need to do. It has become imperative because the truth is the populists cannot see state government. The people they see are us, the legislators who stay with the grassroots, who speak with them. So we find out that we always take the brunt of every situation, even when it's not our responsibility. So, sir, I want to propose, do we now become a legislative, executive member? Because at the end of the day, a lot of executive work, that state government cannot necessarily do, or local government, are being thrown on to us. So I think it's something, a discourse that we should see to as members and see how we can address such situations. Not because the people are insensitive, but because of the climate we are in today. Another thing I think we should also look at as well as post-election is a sober reflection on the division and polarization of our state and the country as a whole. We are now saddled with the fact that people have diverse issues on how governance should be. Mr. Speaker, I think we should now be more proactive as individuals and collectively as members into the plight of the youth, as some of our members have talked about, and see why we are divided. Lagos going into a smart city should mean that we are more attentive to the youth. We are more attentive to even the issues of homes. The homes we have, the homes Lagos State produces and makes, who are the people who benefit from it? Let's now look into making sure that the lower class people get benefits from this state. I see a lot of dissatisfaction from the people in terms of security as well, welfare, all these things. We should now be seen to be pro people as against looking at the smart city and making sure. So we should all look into this and how we can all deal with the situation. Finally, sir, is we coming straight up, forcefully and condemning ethnicity. It's becoming something, today's Rwanda, there is no Hutu and there's no Tutsi. We are looking for a Nigeria where we cannot see where you are from, but you judge me based on my capacity and what I can provide and what I can bring to the fore and how I can build my nation. So please, I think together as a nation and as a house, we should condemn ethnicity. We should condemn, where this one is from and tribalized, and having a tribalized kind of society. For all we know, Lagos grew on the basis of being true to ourselves and being true as Nigerians. And there's a lot to be learned, and we hope, and we are saying to the people, we've heard them, and major adjustments will be done in areas where necessary. Thank you very much, sir.
Honorable Ibrahim.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I would like to borrow the voice of all my colleagues in congratulations for all members who have won their elections in the elections that have just passed, in possibly one of the most credible elections we've seen in this our dear country. While we were campaigning, sir, there was a few things that we noticed after the presidential elections when we were campaigning for the gubernatorial elections. We noticed, sir, that just like my colleague said, Honorable Elliott, that many of the aggravations that the citizens had against legislators were not the responsibility of legislators. Many of the aggravations or the grievances that people were spouting that I saw on social media, many of the young people, is due to a lack of understanding, just like my honorable colleague, Honorable Temitope Adewale, has said as well. I believe, sir, we need to now take this step and be proactive and now try and engage with the citizen even more, because we are still going to face the brunt of it whether we engage with them or not. But it's better that we are proactive and show them exactly what each legislator at certain levels do, show them what the judiciary do, show them what the executive do, and also create a way for them that is more seamless for the citizens to actually speak to members of government. They need to know who they speak to, where they speak to them. We now have a young population who are basically digital, and it seems like our government currently is still analog. So we need to start looking at it now for the future, for the 10th Assembly, for any assembly going forward, on how
we as a government will now learn to engage better with our citizens. At the end of the day, we are there to serve them, and I think we need to work harder. This is what this election has shown us, that though how credible the election may have been, we need to do a lot more towards engaging with the people so they actually understand who they're voting for, when they're voting for that person, and why, and what those things will actually do for them moving forward. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, sir. I think post-election review, has shown us a lot of things. Number one, there is more for us to really engage the youth. The youth has shown that they are the bane of political accomplishments in Nigeria and in Lagos State. And for this, we as government, we as the representative of the people that have been elected to represent this active teeming population, we must continually put up laws, policies that will industrialize Nigeria, that will industrialize our state. Furthermore, I want to use this to congratulate the President-elect of Nigeria. The vote for the President-elect Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a vote for water plantation about to be fruiting, because I thank God that we do not really miss this opportunity. This is a man that has in-depth understanding of what Nigeria is and who has what privatization and commercialization should be. And these are the missing link in Nigeria today. You can see a lot of youth, graduate, active, without any source of income. I believe this is a precedent that has made an indelible landmark in the history of Lagos State and is waiting to accomplish this at the federal level. I want to also congratulate the Lagos State House of Assembly for electing this current speaker as the sixth legislator. I think the only opportunity where this happens all over the world is America. If you have a temerity of experience and you are coming back to elect people, look at the arrays of problems that we are confronting with: infrastructural deficit, unemployment, low industrialization, economic shouts. These are the right time for the 10th Assembly to put in the right policy and measures that will put Lagos State at the vantage of its position and make it a functional state. We cannot afford to thank all the honorable members that have been elected back again. We say, to whom much is given, much is expected. This is the right time for us to sit back and look at where we made mistakes and amend, and look forward to make our position an enviable position. I want to also use that opportunity to thank Deputy Speaker of Lagos State House of Assembly, moving to the Red Chamber. I know you will do a lot of good by representing us well over there. And those people that do not really have the opportunity to come back, I want to tell you and pray for you that posterity will judge you right in your own way. Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, I really appreciate you for this opportunity once again. I'm so happy that in the history of Lagos State, for the first time, we are having a president. I'm so happy. That is my greatest joy in this election. But I want to ask you, Mr. Speaker, please pardon me. How are you able to go through this 6 times? Mine is just the 3rd time. I know what we went through. So I know you are so dogged, you are so strong. For you to have gone through this with ease for the 6th time, you are a great man. We look forward to you to continue to play your role in this house, in the 10th Assembly. I also want to thank everybody here, particularly all my colleagues, for wonderful election we had. We believe that Lagos State is going to be the greatest beneficiary of the new president-elect when he's sworn in. I just want to add that the people have spoken eloquently and unambiguously. that there are issues. So we need to trace our step back during the 10th Assembly to find a way to ensure that we meet the need of the people. Because unemployment is the main bane of what we went through during that election. So we need to reconsider our role in the system to ensure that the needs of our people are met, which we are doing in Lagos State. Perhaps we have not done enough, but because Lagos is APC and Lagos will remain APC forever as long as our leader lives. Once again, I will thank God for our lives, for this wonderful privilege we have again to return to the house, and to also appreciate our colleagues that are living, that they are going to live into greater promotion by God's grace. Thank you very much, Doctor.
Honorable Akande.
Thank you, the Right Honorable Speaker. Anyway, I have some quotations here, but I only want to mention two out of it. The first one is that every thought we think is creating our future. It shows in the desire of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu when he said that his presidential pursuit is a lifetime ambition. And we can see it as the momentum gathered to the level of sales in Milocom. And he has made a branch that every follower we want to really go over and read. And this one has become a permanent book in the archive. And we congratulate him for the achievement, for his perseverance, for his doggedness. But our speaker here, many people are asking what's the secret behind his continuous movement. Two things. When you have a reliable leader who is ready to be pushing you forward, and you too, you are committed to that leadership. I think Speaker takes Asiwaju as a leader who is very reliable, and they believe so much in him, and they will be helping him all along his political journey. To the Excellency, the Governor of Lagos State, I really give it to him. It shows that he has a leader that he must prosper, and that can be seen all through our primary election when the governor has now become reduced himself to a barest minimum to ensure that the son of the soil from Lagos State emerge as a candidate of the party. I want to give it to him till the general election. Ditto to the deputy governor as well. And more importantly, to our deputy speaker here, who gods are really raised up beyond his own expectation. I congratulate you, the deputy speaker, the senator-elect. To our honorable Oshun, who is now the House of Representative member here, is a kind of impetus to everybody that we can aspire to a higher level. To all our colleagues that made it to the next term, I congratulate you. And to some of us, we could not make it. Well, I will make a quotation that things that were hard to bear are sweet to remember. It's not that we are not putting it our own best, but God has a better plan for us. To the other party who are running Etasketa, I think this quotation will go for them. More people will learn from their mistakes if they were not too busy denying them. Every effort, every action, if you fail, you need to go back and revisit it. If you revisit it, it will give you a better direction rather than going up and down for all sorts of petitions. Now, we should learn generally with the politician that there is paradigm shift in our political mechanism. Some of the things that we don't take serious is what has really affected us during our own last election. The social media, we all believe that vote never cast on the platform of social media, but we've seen that even the structureless party is almost giving us a serious stuff at the election. So all this area, we need to take it more serious and not leaving any stone unturned when coming to election. I thank Mr. Speaker and all the members of this Halo Chamber for the good job we've been doing so far to sustain the standard of the Lagos State Assembly that every state are still looking for as a benchmark for a better parliament in Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Honorable Jimmy Mohammed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good afternoon, fellow colleagues. As I fondly call you, Speaker Stick, the sixth timer, a record setter, and also a record breaker. I would like to congratulate you as you have shown a lot of experience with respect to your resilience, your dexterity, and your persistency in handling of all matters. I equally want to congratulate all the candidates and members who have returned to the Lagos State House of Assembly. Without much saying, it wasn't such an easy ride, and I'm happy to see that every one of us has returned here safely, and particularly with my Deputy Speaker, who's now a Senator-elect of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Lagos State. I want to also congratulate you. Also, I want to congratulate the President-elect, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and his Vice President-elect, Shetima. I have no doubt that with the combination of both, they have the ability to source talents. Asiwaju, over a period of time, has proven to be a politician extraordinaire, and I believe that he would exemplify this as soon as he gets the ball rolling. I want to equally toe a line of advice that was shared by my colleague Temitokwe Adewale, and it has to do with the experiences we've all been through, which is with regards to the orientation of the youth right now in understanding where and the nature of things which belong to the different arms of governments. The youth have realized that they have the power and this shouldn't be toyed with. I believe the sudden turnout and their rising up was extremely healthy for democracy. It's not to say people haven't done what they were meant to do, but again, this to the party at large is to let us know that whatever we do shouldn't just remain within party structure, but we should exemplify and let people as a whole and the youth, and orientation is not limited to just about what we do at home. We need to engage more technological solutions, social media, to enable us to educate them. I equally want to congratulate the captain of the ship, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, the governor-elect of Lagos State Government, for his perseverance and his manner of handling situations at the toughest of times. I equally want to congratulate INEC officials and the security operatives for a job very well done. Lastly, I would like us as a whole for us to shun any form of political, religious, and ethnic bigotry, as it has a capacity of destroying the nation as a whole. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Sholaja.
Thank you once again, Mr. Speaker, and my colleagues. Mr. Speaker, you said we should share the congratulations till next time. But let me say it, that we must also of us appreciate the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which called for interim government by biting and others. The man stand on his own that the election will held and is ready to hand over come May 2019 and 29 May 2023. I also appreciate the INEC. The man stand as real Nigerians. He has faced a lot of things and he celebrated it by saying that everybody should go out and vote and casted their vote and recording the vote at that particular point in time, which at the end of the day gave the Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu the presidential election and being elected as President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We really appreciate him. And I want to also appreciate you, Mr. President, for the newly signed bills that have become a law, which will help the 10th assemblies, both the federals and the state level. And I must confess that the combination of Mr. Speaker and the governor of Lagos State have done a lot. If not, we could have seen another thing that's different entirely from the way we are doing it before. But we must appreciate the both of you, particularly Mr. Speaker and Mr. Governor, took the baton and do the justice to what they have done previously. And I must confess to the others, particularly we must, as well Mr. Governor and Mr. Speaker said, we should not, we should share the congratulation message to the newly elected, particularly Mr. Deputy Speaker, my own brothers, Honorable Onyeukwu. I congratulate you, and I believe you have done a lot in the state, and that is why they give you that honor. And by voting for you as a Senate-elect in your senatorial district, the same thing applicable to the East and West. And they have done a lot. And let me say that we should not forget to mention the GSC members, the leaders, the traditional rulers, the Muslim and Christian, by comes together and vote and pray for the peace and harmony in Nigeria. And today we thank God. If not, the people that have called for national interim government could have started jubilating or whatever. But we thank Almighty Allah for put that one away, for true democracy to reflect in Nigeria. And I must say a very big thanks to those who us that have elected the new president. You will see in the next 2 months, you see what is called true democracy. I believe we have a serious predicament when it comes to the electricity in Nigeria, and the answer is there for us in as much 29 May 2023, our new president will be sworn. You see a lot of things. The same thing with applicable to petroleum's issue and issue of youth, that the employment and others. You know, the issue of the current election is basically based on poverties. When somebody is graduated for years and is riding Okadas, doing marijuana, whatever. But I can assure you, Nigeria, that coming May 29, we will laugh and see the difference by God's grace. And for Mr. Speaker, you have been doing it before, and I believe with your combination of the members of the House of Assembly and the executive members, particularly Mr. Governor, Celebo, you will see more and more true democracy in Lagos State. I can assure you of that because of the experience, the man of the affairs of the House of Assembly, you know, the most experienced legislator in the state, House of Assembly. And with the second term of Mr. Governor, I believe the man is going to do better than before. And with the incoming and the re-elected members for serious business, you must give a total support to Mr. Speaker so that you can accelerate whatever you want to do. And for Lagos State and Lagosian, particularly the people who reside in Lagos, to enjoy what is called democracy. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. God bless you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I thank you for giving me this platform. First and foremost, I just want to thank Nigerians, Lagosians, my colleagues, especially Mr. Speaker, the Governor of Lagos State, the President and the incoming First Lady for their support, morally, financially. I want to thank especially my colleagues from my senatorial district who work assiduously for my success Thank you. Right from the primaries, you stood by me, and through the general elections. Mr. Speaker, also thank you very much. Other colleagues, your moral support was sufficient. I thank you very much. I want to say that for the youth, we've heard them loud and clear, and we think that we will try as much as possible to look at their concerns, but I will be happier if they can come up with a charter of demand, but what they actually want, so that the government can know how much they have been able to accede to those requests or tackle those issues when the next election comes, so that we'll be on the same page. Let's know, we know that startup issue, electricity, good governance, but those will be in general terms. If in specific terms they have special requests or charter of demands that the government and also the legislators who are elected both at the state and the national level can work on. I know it wasn't easy, the election wasn't easy for all of us that were elected, from Mr. Speaker and other 1920 honorable members that were re-elected. I say moyo funrami. For those who are not coming back, I say that God will open other doors of opportunities. Ibi tí oríire yín dé kò ní takú síbẹ̀. Agbára Ọlọ́run, ẹ̀yin náà ẹ̀rí bá ti ṣe ẹ̀dẹ̀ rí ọ̀nà gbígbà. God will open doors and doors of opportunities. And for now, I'm elated, and I should thank Lagosians, thank my colleagues, thank everybody who had worked for my success. Hopefully, by the grace of God, those of us who are elected, from Mr. President-elect, from Governor, from Mr. Speaker, from my colleagues, we shall not disappoint Lagosians, we shall not disappoint Nigerians. So thank you very much, Nigerians. Thank you very much, Lagosians. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, my distinguished colleagues. I appreciate your effort.
Thank you all once again, and thank you for x-raying the last election. And I'm sure we've all seen it from different perspectives, and those who are purely concerned about the response of their people to issue of infrastructure, and those that believe the youth's response needs to be addressed, and so many other things. And I think this is an opportunity, for our political scientists to x-ray the pre-election and the post-election itself and the post-election, because this is an election where we have some states with sitting governor being lost to opposition, party in various states in Nigeria. And I think it's an opportunity to address what could have created or led to such reactions by the electorate. So it's a major one for them to address. In my own thing, I think the election has come and gone, and there's a need for us to look at ourselves generally, particularly those of us who have the privilege of serving, and see what we have left undone and what we need to build upon, what we need to sustain, and how we need to carry people along in discharging our service to the people. Particularly, somebody mentioned social contract that we have with the people. So how we can handle this contract in such manner that the people will develop, interest in the ruling party in all the states. Yeah, democracy generally, as we have noticed, even in America, which we believe is the champion of democracy, with previous election in America, we can conclude that it has not been that perfect. It has not been. The last 3 elections, if I'm right, the one between the Bush and Biden, the general election, we remember how it went at the end of the day, to the extent of going to court to challenge the election. And Clinton and what is it called? Trump, the general election as well, and likewise the last one, Biden and Trump. So it shows that even the Westminster of recent, we have seen ways where leadership has been changed within few months to each other. So it shows that election, all in all, it is not totally perfect. If those who have been ahead of us, when we talk about democracy, more than 100 years or more, can still have challenges of conducting free and fair election. So I'm saying this to those who have been beating drum of war concerning the last election. That's fine. Election is a process and we have passed through it. The good thing is that at the end of the day, it ended well. Ended well in the sense that at least it comes to an end and a winner was announced. Fine. Some people have bitter experience, probably will say bitter losers, but we must learn to endure and to accept whatever the outcome of the election. That does not mean we cannot challenge, because our law also made provision for the process of challenging election where you feel otherwise. But it is not enough to start inciting, calling for cancellation of a process where the whole Nigerians participated, inciting people for violence. I think we need to be more patriotic than this. It does not matter if it favors one party or the other one, but the most important thing is that we have a nation that we have to protect, and we have started a system which we call democracy, which is growing, and by conducting an election and by ending it successfully, it is more important to all of us, and I think it is a worthy achievement. So we need to call everybody to order that the process of election is the one that all of us must observe and comply with. Fine, looking at the election further, I think the ticket of the APC, Muslim ticket, was a bold one and daring, and at the end of the day, people have spoken. We have those who were against it, and we have those who embrace it, which shows that everybody was allowed to take a decision, and that was done, and it favors the ticket. And it is also a reminder that in future, when decision is to be made, that people have to be put into consideration before we arrive at conclusion. To me, it was a good election. It was a successful one, and not because our party won, but at the end of the day, it went well. And save for issues being raised concerning violence, voting, and others, which we believe can be addressed successfully. We have issue of social media negativity, where negative decision, comments are being propagated. I think, and we have discussed this issue, and I think it's an opportunity for us that it is high time that we address the issue of social media. It is high time, and I think National Assembly, which we have the this under its control, should be bold enough, at least with few months to go, be bold enough to make sure that we do the needful and we do justice. Everybody has right. There's freedom of speech, freedom of everything. But in exercising your freedom, you must be conscious of others' freedom an image as well. So I think the National Assembly should be bold enough to do what is right and what is just. Well, as I said, the process of the election for me was just fair and clean. So it's for all of us to accept the outcome. And if there's anybody that believes the process was wrong, there's an opportunity to challenge the outcome in the court of law or at the tribunal being put in place by the electoral act. In Lagos, it went well for us, save for the fact that we lost the presidential election. As I've said, the Muslim ticket was a bold one, was there, but people at the end of the day, spoke out their mind by rejecting it in Lagos. But in other states, many states, it was embraced, it was supported, and that actually led to the outcome we have at the end of the day, which throws up our leader, our father, our mentor, Bola Ahmed, as the president-elect of Federal Republic of Nigeria, and his vice, Shetima, which we believe in few months they will become the president of this federation. We must give kudos to President Muhammad Buhari for being upright concerning the last election, and the INEC for doing what is right. The security operatives, both the army, police, and the rest of them, they did well, and Nigerians generally for coming out. And also, I strongly believe that that area needs to be addressed, because particularly in Lagos, we have millions of people who register as voters, but at the end of the day, putting together all the recorded votes, we had less than 2 million. So which shows people's concern, interest about election is still questionable. The apathy is still sitting tight in there, because when you have millions of people, almost about 6, I believe we have up to 6 million or 7 that register, and at the end of the day, we only have less than 2 million voters. So I think we should look at this, and that is why we are calling on the political scientists and our, the relatives of Honorable Jimo, so to start working on it, and let us see how we can better what we got in the last election. So these are the concerns, and I think they are very important. For us in Lagos, it went well. Out of 40, we have 38. Out of 40, we have 38, and we are still very hopeful that the rest of the two will join us by employing the process after election. So we pray so. So it shows that our people in Lagos are still very much with us. They are still very much in support of our party and the administration of our governor and the members of the House of Assembly. We have the governor and the deputy, and we have 38 members. And we also have almost 20 of House of Reps and 3 senators. So this is a confirmation that we are doing well, and the people of Lagos actually recognize our good work. And we thank them for coming out to support us. We appreciate them, and we promise that we'll continue to do our best to serve them, to serve their interests. And I must not leave out my people in Agege for their consistency, for their loyalty, for their support and dedication for our party every time, always. I thank the people of Agege for their support. So they've been after Almighty Allah, they've been the key to success by voting back to back 6 times. I thank you, and I must thank you, my colleagues, for your support at all times, and the management and staff of Lagos State House of Assembly for their support and cordiality. If not, whatever we are doing here will not be will not be recognized without their support. So we thank all of you and we thank everybody. We must not abandon our friend in Naaka, what do we call it? At least they've been the one propagating our activities in the Lagos State of Assembly. So I thank you all, and we believe the coming election will be better than this, and for now we'll be looking out to study and get more of what to be done in the next election. And to the majority leader who has raised this, we thank you for your wisdom. So let's hear from you as to your prayer.
Mr. Speaker, having listened attentively to contributions by my colleagues, I am inclined to pray that this House commends INEC for organizing a very free, fair, and peaceful general election from presidency through the National Assembly to governorship to House of Assembly elections in year 2023 in Nigeria. To congratulate Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu as governor-elect, as president-elect, and Alhaji Shettima as vice president-elect. Congratulate all the senators in the 3 senatorial districts of Lagos, in particular our own Honorable Wasil Eshiloku. To congratulate the governor of Lagos State for his re-election, to preserve the heritage and the state of excellence of Lagos State, congratulate the Speaker of the House of Assembly for being re-elected for the 6th term, a groundbreaking feat in state legislature in Nigeria, as well as congratulate all the members of the Assembly that have been re-elected to the 10th Assembly that will be convocated soon. To encourage Nigerians to shun hate speeches, incitement through social media, and doing things that will undermine the security and corporate existence of Nigeria. Finally, Mr. Speaker, to commend all citizens of Lagos State, everybody in Lagos State, for standing to be counted during the election and making the election peaceful in such a way that it has preserved the integrity of Lagos State, especially the youth and market men and women. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Sir?
Proceed. Well, just to write a letter of commendation to Mr. President, the sitting president, at least for the successful outcome of the last election. We write, since we have so many Senates, we cannot write individually. We write to the Senate, which either it will be inherited or at least read to all the Senate elects and likewise the House of Reps, and to our own President-elect and his deputy and the Mr. Governor-elect here. And likewise, generally, this will be reaching out to the people of Lagos and Nigerians generally as we speak, that we congratulate them for performing their civic responsibilities in the last election. I think that will survive. I've mentioned INEC. Yeah, so, and the security personnel, Nigeria Police and Nigeria Army generally, so that will be enough for them. So, who is seconding? Honorable Setonji.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to affirm that that's the true.
What are you affirming?
Sorry, I rise to second the motion. Thank you.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Those against, nay. The ayes have it. Mr. Clark, kindly do the needful as to the resolution of the House. Yeah, and earlier on we agreed to set up another committee to look into the issue of public health center. We have Honorable Naim to share the committee, Honorable Shokunle, Honorable Said Abafemi, Honorable Ajani, Honorable Tijani Suraj, Honorable Abiru, and Honorable Jude. To serve as secretaries, we have Mrs. Shelley and Mr. Ahmed Omotayo, while the legal officer will be Oyedepo, Mrs. Oyedepo, to report back in 2 weeks. Yeah, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, the day is fast spent. Hence, I crave your indulgence to move that item A, which is the only, the item A on the, item A and B on the other paper is stepped down till another day. I so move.
Honorable Tebitopa.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I raise second the motion as moved.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Those against, the ayes have it. Majority Leader.
Consequentially, Mr. Speaker, with your approval, I move that the House adjourns till Thursday, the 30th day at 12 o'clock. Yeah, Madam. I so move. Huh? 38th, Thursday, 38th of March at 12 o'clock, bearing Ramadan.
Now, who is seconding? Out of your life, Majority Leader, where you are done.
I rise to second the motion as moved. You've given me the light already, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Akisoya. Honorable Akisoya.
I like to second the motion as moved.
All in favor say aye. All in favor say aye. Those against nay, the ayes have it. This house stands adjourned till Thursday, 30th March 2023 at 12 noon prompt. I rise.